This is Anxious Minds, and I'm Sean. Today we're going to just touch on suicide prevention. So just a basic introduction really. We're not going to go into it too heavily. We're just going to kind of give you some of the basic signs and the symptoms and tell you a little bit about it. So suicide, it really very much is a major public health concern. There's a lot of people in the UK, men and women, die prematurely by suicide every single year. It is one of the leading causes of death overall in the United Kingdom. And suicide is complicated and it's very, very tragic, but it is often very, very preventable. So knowing the warning signs for suicide and how to get help can very much save lives. So some of the signs and symptoms that we're going to talk about today. The behaviours listed may be signs that someone is thinking about suicide, and it can be really quite obvious in its own way, but at the same time be very, very subtle. So something like talking about wanting to die or wanting to kill themselves, yes, that's very, very obvious and everybody can pick up on that kind of thing. Talking about feeling empty, hopeless, or really having no reason to live. Making a plan or looking for a way to kill themselves, such as searching online, stockpiling medication, pills, etc., or even buying a gun. Talking about their own personal guilt or their own personal shame. Talking about feeling trapped or feeling that there are no solutions. Very, very often a person will feel unbearable pain, that's emotional pain or physical pain. And talking about being a burden to others, i.e. they can't do a lot of things themselves and a lot of other people are having to help that person through their life. So talking about being a burden to others, that's quite a significant marker also. Using a lot of alcohol or drugs, maybe a lot more often than they usually would. Acting very, very anxious or agitated. Withdrawal or self-isolating from family and friends. Changing their eating and or maybe their sleeping habits as well. Showing rage or talking about seeking revenge. Taking great risks with their lives that could lead to death, such as driving extremely fast or just walking across the road without looking left or looking right in order to protect themselves. They just walk straight across the road. If they get knocked down, they get knocked down. That's the kind of thinking that these kind of people deploy, because really they're not in quite the same world as the rest of us are at that particular time. And talking or thinking about death very, very often, and displaying extreme mood swings, suddenly changing from very, very sad to very calm or even very happy. Giving away their important possessions, and often prematurely saying goodbye to friends and family, putting their affairs in order, and making a will. Now, if these warning signs apply to you or someone you know, please do get help for them as soon as possible, particularly if the behaviours are actually new or have increased recently. One of the resources that a lot of people can revert to straight away is you can ring your Samaritans. The thing around suicide is very, very often a lot of people won't say anything about it at all, and they will go off and will quietly kill themselves. Sometimes you might get very, very subtle warnings of a suicide, and very, very often the warnings are so subtle that you couldn't possibly blame yourself for not being able to spot those signs. Even professionals can't spot a lot of those signs. So please, if that has happened to you in the past, don't blame yourself for that kind of thing. If that kind of thing is bothering you, or it is in your family, you know where you can contact us here at anxiousminds.co.uk. Thanks for listening.